Hey everyone.
I can't see. Yeah, can. Yeah. Hi everybody. Hello. Welcome to another Forge live event. We are live on Facebook and YouTube, so hello to everybody on both platforms. We are here today to discuss the summer event, but before we get into that, we can maybe do a quick introduction for those who don't know me and this face beside me, who some of you might recognize. So I'm Jess, I'm one of the game designers. I've been here for a while, so I guess some of you know me, so it's a little bit boring, but for the other new face.
Yeah, so I'm completely new to this. My name is Adam. I'm the community management specialist for Forge of Empires. What that means is I'm in charge of the communication and support strategy for the game. And I'm really excited to be here to answer some of your questions. So,
nice. We're happy to have you. I'm just checking. I see everybody. Hello, everybody. Lots of you there. Lovely. Okay, let's get into the event anyway, because that's why we're here. So yeah, like I said, we're having a chat about the summer event, which went live last week, I think. Beginning of last week, at the end of last week. So yeah, I hope you are all enjoying it and playing it. So the summer event is possibly familiar to some of you who played last year. It is our pirate themed event. So you're basically setting setting sail on the high seas. And yeah, basically your main goal of the event is to, I guess, explore with your ship on a treasure map. So you're basically navigating through a treasure map. You'll see when you open the event on the right hand side, there's this map and you can see your ship starting at the bottom. And to do this, you basically need to find and spend doubloons, which are these little gold pirate coins. And yeah, to do this, you basically spend a doubloon and it will spin the wheel of your ship's wheel. So it's like a wheel of fortune. And every time you spin the wheel, you will get a reward. So it works similar to any other wheel of fortune. Spend a doubloon and then you get a reward from it. And there's lots of different kinds of rewards on the wheel. So there's lots of potential to get lots of really cool stuff. There's different kinds of rewards, from common rewards to things that are a little bit more rare. So yeah, there's the Governor's Villa, which was the event building from last year. That's there, so you can definitely keep an eye out for that. And yeah, every time you basically spin the wheel, you also gain a compass. And the compass is obviously how you need to navigate through your treasure map. And your compass, when you use your compass, you will be able to move your ship along your treasure map, either 1 or 3 nodes or spots up the treasure map. So it's kind of random based on what you get. And basically you need to work your way up the treasure map to, you guessed it, treasure. And the treasure is the grand prize, which we'll speak a little bit more about later. But a little bit back to the wheel, because it's not as easy as just spinning a wheel with a coin. The wheel is shared between other players in your neighborhood, and this is kind of cool. You're basically competing against other players on what is on the wheel. So every time you spin the doubloon, you get a reward, but it takes it from the other players in your neighborhood wheel. And yeah, you can also see at the bottom what other players got. So there's a little a news feed, so you can see what other people are getting. And yeah, I guess that's the high level overview of the event. I guess the biggest thing that everybody cares about with this event is the grand prize. The grand prize this year is a very special building with some kind of new tricks to it. It is the Pirates Hideout. And the Pirates Hideout is a chain building. So I guess if you played some of our other events, or you're playing the game and you see other buildings like this, it's a chain building, which means that it has a main building, and the main building is the Pirates Hideout itself, and it has 8 levels. It's a really, really beautiful building. It's as you would expect in a Pirates theme. and it has like a chest mechanic similar to the crow's nest. If you have that building, or if you've seen that, you can also win that building on the wheel. And yeah, you basically can, when you get to the highest level, you can get a random chest from the building, which contains a bunch of really nice things. You only get one thing from the chest from the possibilities within the chest, but it also gives a really nice boost as well. So yeah, that's the main building. Again, like I mentioned, it's a special building, so it's not just that. The building can be changed, like I said, with some additional add-ons to it, and they can be found on the wheel actually. So on the wheel, there's 3 different in-theme add-ons to the building, and yeah, you can find them on the wheel and try and win them before your neighbors get them. And you can attach them or like build them beside the pirate's hideout itself, and it will boost the production of the pirate's hideout to whatever it is you attach. So there's different buildings like the captain's anchorage, there's the shark shallows, and
Fisherman's Pier is the other one. Yeah.
Thank you. the memory. And yeah, they each give different things to the main building. So yeah, definitely look out for those. And yeah, there's a lot more, but I guess we can maybe go to a question.
I mean, to be honest, you gave a pretty comprehensive. And I was thinking of stuff I could add there, and you covered pretty much everything. So
maybe where you can get doubloons, I didn't really mention that as well.
Yes, so you can get them from completing quests. They're granted once per day, and also in completing incidents around your city. First question that I saw, and one that we get quite a lot, is regarding incidents and doubloons. Thomas asks, why is it I have 12 incidents and I get no doubloons? You should know with doubloons, they're considered a rare incident. So typically you have 10 to 15 incidents a day, and you might get doubloons a couple times. If you've had 12 in a row, I would suggest maybe you've been a little bit unlucky, but usually you tend to get a couple a day. So
yeah, totally fair point. Yeah, they're like, it's not like we can split doubloons into smaller pieces. So the doubloons in the incidents are very rare, and they're high value. So what other questions do we have?
Well, Paul says, hi, love the game and the events. So yeah, it's nice to hear. Glad you're enjoying the game, Paul, and we look forward to seeing you play for many a year. So
Paul says, I just got an event surprise box that doesn't open until next event. What is it? Lol. Great question, Paul, and it's something I didn't mention. I guess so basically the event surprise box is something that you can gain. It's like a reward box that you can gain when you complete quests of an event. So when you are playing the quests for an event, you're obviously gaining like currency for the event. And there's along the bottom, there's also, you can see like different milestone rewards that you can get. Some of them are, for example, upgrade kits for the Pirate's Hideout for the main event building. Others are, like bonus event currency. But halfway through the quest line, there is usually special prizes that you can get, like, for example, avatars, or depends on the event. And one of them is an event surprise box, and we give it out now every event. So what it is once you complete halfway through the quest line of one event, you get this box, and the box is something that you can use for the next event. So it basically gives you like a head start for the next event. So it usually contains like an upgrade kit or a selection kit for the next event's grand prize building. So it's something that, like, I really suggest you guys get, because it can be a big help for the next event. So it's not something that you can use for the current event, but it's for the next event. So if some of you had played our past event, you would have gotten the event surprise box for summer, and then you would have gotten an upgrade kit for the hideout from that. So, but that was a really good question. There's also other things, right, and not just the upgrade upgrade kit in that.
Marin says, I need the villa, the governor's villa. In terms of the feedback we received from the event, we've seen from a lot of players that they really want this building and they really like that we included it. So that's really cool to see. And in future events, of course, we will make sure to look into providing the governor's villa, seeing how popular it is. So
yeah. I personally love that building. It's one of the loveliest buildings in the game in terms of the output. It gives an attack boost, also gives units. Like, it's a really, really nice building. So yeah. It's not a big deal.
Brian asks, I take there only upgrades for the main building. I assume, do you mean from doing the treasure map? Yes, but there are also other previous event buildings available within the Wheel of Fortune that you can win, and also, of course, these chain decorations, which can be added to the main building. But there's a whole host of prizes within the Wheel of Fortune to win. It's one of the reasons that I really like the event, just because you can get some really cool rewards throughout the entire.
Yeah. There's a question from Alan, I think. Space. It takes a 3x12 space to place the pirate's hideout, plus the 3 different pirate reefs that you connect to it. Has anyone ever thought to include a few expansions with the events for the event building itself? Yeah, it's another really good question, or I guess a want from you. Yeah, I know that space is, for some players, it's like running out of space. Space is like the biggest thing in Forge. Like, bigger the city, the more stuff you can fit in. We have talked about this in the past. I know that there's like plans to try and look into expansions more for everyone. So I will take it with us, because we're always working on new things that we can give out in the events. And yeah, if it's not that kind of a, let's say, solution to your problem, it will be something else that we can look into. So I hear you, and yeah, I will take it with me. Thank you for the question.
Bill has a nice follow-up, and he says, Jess, of course you could split doubloons into smaller pieces. They were called pieces of 8. Arg.
Oh, sorry. Not in Forge. I'm sorry to pronounce your name wrong. Ennis or Enos?
I would say Enos?
Ennis?
Yeah. Sorry, we're butchering it.
You can write to us and tell us if we're saying it right or wrong. Any plans on giving players the opportunity to gift things to each other? Possibly you mean within events, or maybe in general. Actually, that's another topic that we've been in discussion. It's actually not a new topic. We've tried to talk about it a couple of times. Of course, there's like, you can help, you can aid people and whatever. But yeah, to have some kind of specific gifting system, especially in events, like, I would be very interested in this topic in events, because I think it's a really nice system in general from a gameplay side. And I know that there's a lot of other people in our team who also think it's cool. So again, I will take it with me. It's nice to hear that you are also wanting something like this. If your question was a little bit more, I don't know, focused in a different direction that I totally missed, just write another comment and try and get back to it.
Okay, yeah. I'm going to also butcher your second name here. Quentin Debode ask, can we download the loading screen painting somewhere? Love them. It's a nice idea. Check our Facebook. We might share something about this week. However, no promises. But yeah, we have great artists here, and continually amazed with what they produce. So
totally agree. I have the access to that stuff, but I can see that, because some of the art we created, like you said, is super nice and really detailed and on point. So yeah. Brian Zart When can we work on the Ferris wheel again? So the Ferris wheel was, for those who don't know, a grand prize building that we had for archaeology. Not sure what you mean by work, but maybe you mean that like we get another upgrade kit for it. We try and like keep our events segmented from each other, but there will always be other ways that you can get event buildings, not just all the way next year. So keep an eye out on that. There will definitely be other opportunities to get events that have just passed the buildings from. So yeah, keep an eye out for that.
Lokesh asks, is there any logic in doing the stop within the spinning the wheel? When you spin the wheel, it randomly gives you your rewards. If you press stop, it's just for convenience to speed up the animation. It doesn't affect what reward you will ultimately receive. So it's not, if someone's giving that advice, don't listen to them because it doesn't change the outcome.
Yeah. I just saw a comment. Leslie King said that, regarding the gifting idea, and that I would like take it with me, and that it's something that's been consistently asked for again and again over the years, and yeah, it never happens. Again, I can only say because I'm like mostly working on the events and in charge of the events, and it is something that, like, as you've seen with Forge, we're trying a lot of new things with our events and like trying totally new mechanics. And yeah, it's something that we want to do, is to not necessarily gifting in like the most basic sense, but more social or interaction between players, also in that kind of like giving and gifting side. So I really will take it with me, because we're doing a lot of work at the moment on events and new things. So yeah, but I know it's hard when you ask for something and it's not always added to the game. I understand your frustration. Yep. There's a question on, will the selection kit for the ship be on the wheel? Yes, it is on the wheel. I know it's sometimes hard because the wheel is totally random on what comes up and you have to really like check it. I think there's one thing I didn't mention is there's two buttons in the event. There's one that is like spin the wheel for a doubloon, and that obviously spins the wheel and you get a reward from it. There's another one that says
refresh and spin.
Refresh and spin, and this, when you tap this, it spins, so it still spins as normal. You still get a reward from it, but before you spin, it refreshes the wheel. So basically, whatever set of rewards was on the wheel is like churned, and you get like a whole new set of things on the wheel, and then it spins for you, and you get something from it. So if you don't like anything on the wheel, you can press that to get something new. So maybe if you're not seeing it, just try doing that. Just be careful that when you do that, well, not be careful, but when you do that, like whatever was on the wheel for you, but also for your neighborhood, is changed. So just make sure that there's nothing on the wheel that you specifically want. And yeah.
Frank asks, will InnoGames create a higher level in GBG to make it fair for all guilds? I can tell you at the moment, we're having a look at guild Battlegrounds, and we're looking into different suggestions and looking at the feature in general. Of course, I can't give you anything definite in terms of an update now, but certainly we've received feedback like this before and we're looking into it. That's all I can say at this time, unfortunately.
Yeah. Always a hot topic.
Always a hot topic, yeah. Yashir asks why FUD don't add a feature to one-click motivate and polish all player buildings within neighbors, friends, or guilds. This was a topic that emerged during our community sprint. I don't know if you are all aware, but we made a forum post and got people to post their ideas for a sprint that we recently had. And we went forward with some of those ideas. One of those ideas that was commonly raised was this one click. So it was something that we certainly looked into and we continue to look into. But what I can say, to be slightly transparent, is it's not quite as easy to implement as it might seem on the surface. So it's a bigger topic that does take a lot of work. However, it's something that we can possibly look into for the future. But again, no guarantees here.
We have a question from Henry, which is not necessarily to do with summer event, but do you have anyone in the office who plays the game full time? 100% yes.
Both of us in this Q&A.
I can also say, like, from my team, but actually it's not just my team, it's everyone. Like, we have some people who've been on the game for forever, like since the beginning, and we have some very, very passionate players from the team. So every time we are pitching anything or discussing anything, they have like real background knowledge on the game as a developer, but also as a player, and also are like really passionate to tell us like what they think, because they know what they're talking about because they're playing it all the time. So yeah, yes, we do. Yeah. Okay, let me see if I can find some questions.
They go pretty fast, don't they? Sometimes.
Yeah, it's really hard.
Francois Lebrune. I'm so sorry. I'm butchering all of your names today. What will be the next event? Easy one will be the fall event. So.
There is a question from one of you guys that says, why do you have to wait 24 hours until you get a new quest? So yeah, good question. We have a quest line, and it depends on every event. There's different mechanics that we have. Like, we have, like, you know, ones where you collect quests and you have to do them, but in some it's like a linear quest line. But there's a certain amount of quests that we call rush quests, where, let's say, a number off the top of my head, you have 30 rush quests, and these are quests that you can do one after another, like you can rush through, right, and you can get all the rewards for it. And then we have ones that are called daily quests, and these are quests that you get every day that the event has been running. So say the event is 20 days, you would have 20 daily quests. And if you are on day 15, you can play all the daily quests. So they stack, it's not that you lose them. You can play all the quests up to day 15. And then every extra day of the event, like, a new daily quest unlocks. So it could be the case that you just did all the quests that were possible currently. And yeah, you have to wait until the next day of the event to get a new quest. So yeah.
Cafe Musterful. He said the rewards from the event center, I assume you mean Event Hub, are very dull. You should make them better. Sorry to hear that you don't like them. In terms of the Event Hub, we're always looking to feedback. So please feel free to provide feedback as much as possible in terms of the type of boosts that you would like with this, and we're happy to look into it and see if we can provide it. In terms of the one for the current events, for me, the defense boost for the attacker, the 3-day 20% one is pretty good, but I'm sorry to hear on this occasion it's not your cup of tea. So
actually, yeah, I after you said that, I just remember it's a pretty nice boost. Yeah, that's happy that you mentioned that, or that a player asked that. That's another thing you can win on the quest line.
Yeah, we did forget that, actually.
Lots of rewards, guys, that you're getting in this event. And by the way, you can see that on the like the quest milestone at the bottom, so you can see where you need to get, how many quests you need to get how many quests you need to complete to get the Event Hub edition. My English delay.
Happens to the best of us, Jess.
Yeah. Arthur says, will the sunken treasure be a prize on the Wheel of Fortune? I think that reward was actually removed off the top of my head. But I encourage you to refresh the wheel and have a look. But I think I cannot check balancing right now, but I think it was removed, yes. But you can get that in other parts of the game, right? You can get that in the antique dealer and stuff. So.
David has a question, but I don't quite understand it. He says, have you ever considered doing a version of Forge of Empires in English? It would be great to have. Oh, okay, I understand. You mean the English, British English as opposed to American English. Generally, we do American English because it's America is a bigger country, obviously, and it's easier for us to standardize our English based on that. As a Brit, I can completely understand where you're coming from, though, because I also prefer the British form of the language. So we can look into that feedback, but again, I can't promise that we would do anything in that regard.
Yeah. Marie says, I want that background for my video meetings too. Well, we are working on it.
Dennis Ibsen says, love you guys. This is an awesome game. I spend half my day on here. A little heart emoji. It's great to hear. It's a game that can take a little bit too much of your time. You can get immersed in it, but it's glad to hear that everyone is enjoying it nevertheless.
Lewis says, are there any buildings that are not really needed in order to create free space? This is a bit of a loaded question.
Yeah, it depends on how you want to build your city and the strategy and how you want to optimize it. It really depends from person to person, I would say.
Totally. Yeah, totally. It also depends on where you are in the research tree. It depends on what your focus is. It depends on how active you are in other parts of the game or what you want to do in other parts of the game. All I can do without knowing you and your city is encourage you to, if you're part of a guild, like ask guildmates for maybe some help or some info on that, on like this way you want to go, like how's my building looking, because they can obviously see your city, and also like check out on like the forums and on YouTube. Like there's just, as you can see, millions of people who are playing the game heavily and will have lots of knowledge. I can just say that as a tip, event buildings are awesome, and you should totally try and get as many of those and build them. They're really like spot on.
Replay J says, I like the summer event, pretty solid. Yeah, I mean, I'm also a big fan of this event, as I said. The Wheel of Fortune is always fun to spin, and you always get some good rewards. And whenever I get the rare reward from it, I feel pretty good about myself. So I very much agree with that one.
Yeah, it's really nice. It's like a nice event that I think a lot of people like, because we have a lot of events that are quite time consuming, or the game itself is like, there's always a lot to do, always like things that you want to do. So the summer event is quite nice. It's like a good clean event. We have a question. Captain Lucky says, where's Kurt? Where's your pirate's hat? I'm really sorry. I feel like I'm always letting you guys down that we're not in some kind of costume, or, I mean, at least we have a background. And Kurt always wishes you guys the very best. And I know that he would say hello, or he would want us to say hello.
Hopefully next year we can get the pirate garb going and we can have some hats. So
I know. Next live. The next live is fall, right? Fall.
Yes.
Maybe we can. Oh, I'm totally up for having some cake. And
cake would be nice. It might be a little bit distracting while we're answering questions if we're just like munching on some cake, you know.
Okay. We have 1 minute left, so let's try and squeeze in a couple more questions quickly.
Valerie says, love playing day and night. Thank you for the awesome game. Great to hear. Glad you're enjoying it, and hope you continue to enjoy it moving forward.
There was a question I just missed. Someone said, why are there no guild events, or can we have a guild event? We kind of have guild events. We have like features in the game that are things that are not always there, guild expedition and GPG, etc. But I guess you mean like what it would be like with the summer. And again, I don't want to repeat myself, but we are looking into that. It's kind of coming back to that like whole social aspect that we were talking about in gifting. Like we would love to do more stuff like this. So yeah, I'm trying my best. And
do we have time for one more question?
If you can find one. I'm going to quickly say this now because I know that there's confusion. Kim Burnett says, why are some items losing the question, locked in the inventory, and can we unlock them? For example, the event building items or the rewards that you get in the event, we lock them in the inventory initially so that you don't like delete them by accident or whatever. There's a little lock button that you can press and you can unlock items in your inventory that are locked. So yeah, I just wanted to get that in.
Nicely done. I think we're out of time. We're 1 minute over. So I will say goodbye, and it was great getting your questions, and we look forward to seeing you in a future Q&A.
Yeah, definitely. Bye guys. Have a lovely evening. Bye.
Take care.